Hi everyone, welcome to Docue Digest, where we break down a particular legal document into bite-sized pieces. On the menu today, we have non-disclosure agreements, or NDAs for short. I'm Ashley Evans, legal counsel in the UK here at Docue, and I'm here with my colleague Heather Stark.
Hi, I'm Heather Stark, Senior Legal Counsel in the UK at Docue. So Ashley, what is an NDA?
So an NDA is a contract between two parties where one or all of the parties agree to keep certain confidential information a secret. So a question that lawyers often get asked about this is, what's the difference between a confidentiality agreement and an NDA?
Well, they're the same. They're just different ways of describing the same document. Whether a contract says that it's an NDA or a confidentiality agreement, they should essentially do the same thing, which is ensure that parties agree that certain information will be kept confidential.
Right, okay. So two parties will basically agree that one or both of the parties will be giving the other party certain confidential information. And then once the NDA is signed, they can't discuss that information with anyone else. So what types of information can be protected by an NDA?
Generally, confidential information will be commercially sensitive information that you wouldn't want to fall into the hands of your competitors. This can include trade secrets, business ideas or strategies, or details of your intellectual property, finances, or even client lists.
Right, okay. So if I was a business owner and I was speaking to a company or a person that I wanted to partner up with, would it be a good idea to get them to sign an NDA to make sure my confidential information is protected?
Yes, exactly. If both parties will be sharing confidential information with each other, then a two-way or mutual NDA is the best way to ensure that each party keeps the other party's confidential information a secret.
That's right. But if only one party is sharing confidential information, then you'd use a one-way NDA or a unilateral NDA to protect that party's confidential information. So only the party receiving the information will be obligated to keep it a secret.
Exactly. So if a business owner will be chatting to an investor, a one-way NDA would likely be most suitable. Another common situation where a one-way NDA might also be used is when employees have access to a company's confidential information. So NDAs protect confidential information. How do we know what information is covered by an NDA though?
So in practical terms, when you're drafting an NDA, it's really important to ensure the definition of confidential information is wide enough to cover all the possible information that the parties will be disclosing to leave no room for mistakes. We don't want one of the parties to turn around and say, oh, sorry, didn't realize that was confidential information. So if confidential information is being shared for a particular purpose, that purpose should be made really clear in the NDA too.
That makes sense.
So how long should the NDA confidentiality obligations actually last for?
There doesn't actually have to be a time limit. It'll usually depend on the nature of the confidential information, but it's common to see time limits somewhere around 18 months to 5 years in NDAs.
And then once the time limit's over, the information can be used freely by either party. Or if the confidential information is really sensitive, the parties can also agree that the confidentiality obligations last forever. So what happens if one of the parties ends up breaching their obligations?
Well, an NDA is a type of contract. The standard remedy for a breach of contract is damages to compensate for the losses caused by that breach. Another legal remedy could be an injunction to stop the party from breaking their confidentiality obligations. But often with NDAs, once confidential information has been leaked, most of the damage has already been done.
Exactly. So that's why it's so important to make sure there's an NDA in place that clearly defines what confidential information is, and also that both parties understand their obligations to make sure they keep that information a secret.
And how can Docue help with that?
Well, Docue have both a one-way and mutual NDA template ready to use. All you need to do is answer a series of questions, and thanks to Docue's state-of-the-art contract drafting technology, the template will be automatically tailored to your answers. And if you get stuck along the way, Docue has lawyer-drafted guidance notes to guide you through the process.
Wow, that sounds great. And with Docue, you also get electronic signatures and secure contract storage all in one.
Awesome. Thanks for listening, everyone.